Hello everyone, welcome back. I have nailed this. I have got this down so damn well. I'm so proud of myself that I'm no longer messing up the buttons. Because if you've ever seen the Black Monster Cup, I have such a damn hard time hitting all of the buttons that I have to. I wish I could actually show you how many different things there are to hit and slide and everywhere, and it's so difficult. But either way, we're getting underway here with our first game of the day. There's going to be 3 more after this until we find our 2 teams coming out of Group A into the playoffs. And right now we have a little bit of invade coming out of Prom Bear here. I'll go over the lamps here in just a few seconds once we do have the action subside down. So on the side of Faculty, who will be on the blue team, we have Zio, Prawn Bear, Sigu, Cedrian, and Mountain. Pretty much exact same lineup that they won last season with, so obviously look for them to probably be the favorites in this one. And of course, crowd control over on the purple team. Over on the red side, we have Phantom Joe, XO, Lord Kevco, Intix, and Intox. And I'm just going to call them Tix and Tox, because that makes it a lot easier to say. So if you ever hear me say Tix or Tox, you know who I'm talking about. They are running the same lane together as well, which makes it that much more lovely to cast. Things people do to casters is great. But obviously, let me know in chat what you guys think. Who's going to win? Who's your favorites? Always tweet to me at JCaptain as well. Always check that in between games to see what you guys have to say. And right now, well, pretty standard start here. And, you know, just between Lee Sin and Maokai, look for Lee Sin to be very aggressive to shut Maokai down. It should be pretty damn obvious who wins in a 1v1 with Lee and Mao. So Mao has a very slow kind of jungle route. He has pretty good ganks, obviously, with that twisted advance. It's going to force flashes. But he's so susceptible to being counter-ganked. And that's what's really deadly about him here. And I believe Pong Bear did actually go for a little bit of an aggressive ward, but unfortunately for him, it's not there anymore. And he can't actually spot out where XO is going. As you can see, I mean, XO, half life right there. Just starting to rotate over towards the red side here. And obviously Prom Bear going towards his red as well, but he's pretty much full health at this point. So not really a good sign here for crowd control. But luckily for XO, he's not getting counter jungled. That is a big one. And I believe actually this might come back to haunt, you know, and Faculty if they actually lose this one, because that's such an easy thing to do against him. And yeah, there's an Aurelian Orion, to be a little bit careful, but Gragas is fast to get around the map. Ziggs has a lot of early damage. But we'll see how it goes. And well, right now, 280 carries. It's a little bit of a lead here for Cedrian over Tix. Wow, this direct to camera, it like switches screens for like a split second and then comes back. Like right there. How did direct to camera break? What did Riot do to break it? I don't understand. Well, either way. Zio, 14 to 15 here. You can see Phantom Joe only very low on life, about half HP. And well, in Faculty was one of the core teams in getting here today. One of the teams that had a guaranteed spot in all the cups. And crowd control, unfortunately, they were. I believe they came in through the A series, and I think they finished actually like 4th or 5th, if I'm not mistaken. So not the best of records for them so far here. But Intix getting called the Dark Bind, takes a lot of damage. So does Phantom Joe on the top side. And yeah, CS isn't that big of a lead anywhere really for either of these teams, but you can just see that Faculty have some good control this game. Phantom Joe is going to be forced back. Tix can obviously stay in lane, considering he has a Nami there to heal him up, but he's got to be able to dodge his Dark Bindings if he wants to be successful in this lane. And you're a Corki, you have a Valkyrie, you can get away, so it shouldn't be that hard to do. See, Cedrian just getting very aggressive right there, getting in the face of Tix and really trying to apply the pressure, really trying to let him know that, hey, this is my lane. I'm going to win it. And honestly, Corki can, you know, work out well against Lucian, but I feel like late game, and depending on your composition, which I don't really feel crowd control has, with a poke he can do, it's really good, but you don't really have anyone to support that. You don't have no Nidalee, you have no Jace, you don't have anyone with, you know, really good harass. Let's see, Phantom returning back to lane with another Doran's Blade here, so go for some extra damage, feeling like he can compete against Zio, which, you know, I think he can. But it's a nice CS lead for Zio, and he's running teleport, so he could go back to base, buy up, teleport back into lane here, and really cause a big problem. He's sitting on, well, 1,000 gold, probably saving up for his catalyst. And you can just see the pain he's putting on, and well, he's still living his Q, but you can see Phantom Joe forced to pop the health pots over and over again. And finally, Prom Bear going for a little bit of invade, trying to take away a little bit from XO, and that's exactly what he should be doing. He doesn't really need to gank these other lanes because they're not really losing. Yeah, he can have successful ganks, you know, middle, bottom, and top, but he's keeping XO back, or behind, so he doesn't really become powerful in these fights. And he can depend on his other lanes to continue winning, which, you know, they already are. Let's see here. AD carry sitting on about 1,200 total. You can see Zio still sticking up towards that top side, though. He's still looking for that money for that catalyst. Seeing those Gragas top lanes build that Rod of Ages, go for a kind of tanky build. Not to mention that ultimate late game is going to be really devastating. If you can pull Orion into the middle of your team, even Corki, I mean, yeah, he has Valkyrie to get away, so it could be a little bit of a problem. But you have Morgana to help set things up, and that's where it gets really difficult. If you get caught with the Dark Binding, you're going to get ulted back into the other team, and you're most likely not going to survive that. But actually, Zio going for 2 extra Doran's rings and an Amp Tomb. I really expected him to build the Catalyst. So maybe he's going the full AP build here on Gragas. Alright, well, we'll see how that one works out. I mean, I've seen it from time to time, but you know, it's a very niche thing here. And yeah, I mean, he's winning his lane right now, but if he dies, like, that's going to come back to haunt them. And the best of 1 format, when it's pretty much, you know, kind of double elimination style, where you lose 2 games, you're out. You win 2 games, you're through. You know, if you don't want to blow up your first game, especially from like little mistakes here, but it doesn't matter. He's still up CS. You can see about 8 right now. Bottom lane, a little bit of a lead here for Intix, so I'll give him credit on that one. And main lane, a little bit of a lead here for Lord Kevko, but I don't know, both junglers being very passive. I'm really surprised to see EXO not ganking more. I mean, you kind of need Maokai to gank early. I mean, yeah, you can use him obviously late game where he can become strong, reduce a lot of AoE damage, but the problem is, you know, he can fall off if he doesn't really get any early presence in the map. And yeah, he's up in CS by 2. But I feel like this has been his time to shine. I feel like that Twisted Advance is just too strong of an ability to have to not use. And Intix, did he DC? Yep. He DC'd. But good guys in faculty. They actually stopped attacking him when they could have killed him, just to make sure that he gets back in the game. That's fair play. I'll give him credit on that one. That was good.
A summoner has disconnected.
Hopefully it's not too long of a DC though. If you guys ever watch me often, you know how much I'm not a fan of DCs and pauses and filling during these times. When you're all alone, it's a little bit more difficult. I mean, I could talk about a lot of different things, but there's only so many of them I'm allowed to do on stream. That's the problem. I mean, if we were at a bar, you know, drinking a couple of beers, then, you know, I could probably talk about a little bit more. But I believe he did reconnect here, so I'm just waiting to see when they do unpause it. I do not have chat on, by the way. I usually do, because I'm getting spam messaged a couple of weird things from people, and I don't want you guys to see that stuff. So that's why you're not seeing it, unfortunately. But it looks like pause has been resumed, and we're getting back underway here. And again, good guys and faculty, not going for the easy kill, not going for that easy first blood, and let him get that reconnect in. Oh, Intox getting caught though. He could take enough damage to be taken down here. He has popped pretty much everything here as Tix does actually use a summoner heal to keep him alive. You see a little bit of invade coming out of Promber right now, looking to steal away this red buff. He does have, no, yeah, he does have a ward behind him. So he's not, he knows what's been happening here, but right now, Prana has the backup from Zio. He's looking straight for that red buff here. The Sapling will get him a little vision as well as that ward coming in. But the smite battle, why is it showing us bottom? Show us this fight. You directed camera, you suck. Red buff kept alive. The ultimate coming out of Oriana and Prana forced a flash for the wall as well as Zio. So they will back away from this one. They will escape. And they are unsuccessful in stealing that red buff. So what? They committed 1 ultimate for 2 flashes. Not a bad trade here for crowd control. And good reaction as well by Phantom and Lord Kevko to get there in time. Obviously, you want to make sure to stop Prombear from doing any counter. And the one time he has, he's taken, what, 1 big Wraith? That's it? So this is the biggest thing. I'm actually curious why EXO isn't running a sweeping lens. Because he has a trinket built in his item. The Quill Cloak, I think, or Quill Coat. It has an item built into it, or a ward built into it. So why not just go, I mean, yeah, it's a stealth one, but I don't know, a little bit interesting. Meantime, 77 to 59 on the top lane here. You can see Zio sitting on 1,000 gold. And look at that, 2,300 to spend on Cedrian here, so he's getting really strong right now. Intix returns back to lane with a Sheen and with a Ruby Crystal. And well, here comes Maokai for the gank here. They're looking for the kill on Zio. And, well, he'll go straight into Phantom, looking for the kill, looking for the 1v1, but the ultimate coming out of Maokai will mitigate a lot of damage here. And well, there's a red buff on him. It doesn't have a flash up anymore. He's going to be able to get away, though, just barely here. And a great presence by EXO to really, come up towards that top line, realizing, well, he has no flash. Can body block and soak up a lot of his damage here, and he might go back to base. He obviously does have his teleport up, though, so not a big loss for him. But we'll at least apply a little bit of power and a little bit of fear into the mind of Zio that he has to be careful in that lane. Okay, so 10.5 minutes in. 400 gold. Oh, you're on a ward, Prawn. 400 gold lead here for the side of End Faculty. And that gank it'll be unsuccessful. The first time I actually see Prawnberry going for a gank, and he's, well, standing right on top of a ward, unfortunately for him. And he's going to be wasting a lot of time there. And here comes a push out of Cedric. Look how much damage he just took. Ridiculous. Coming out of Tix right there. And, well, you can see Cedric, he went for the Build Droid Cutlass and the 2 daggers, going for that Blade of the Ring King as his first item. But as you can see, he cannot really even afford to trade against CC here in that bottom lane. And Prawn able to force away here Phantom, so they might be able to pick up the first turret if they want to continue to push it. Even Kevco getting very, very low here. Sigu, is he going to pop the ultimate onto him? Q will just barely get stopped by the minion right there, so he'll just shove the way back out. Probably go back to the lane, buy that Unthink's and Holy Grail. See, even though, we've seen that great burst coming out of Tix, Cedric, he's, well, still winning CS. So that's a good sign out of him. Obviously having probably the toughest time. No. I was going to say he's having the toughest time, but I think Sigu's having a tougher time against Lord Kevco. As you can see, he's actually losing CS currently, but he actually didn't go back to lane, or back to base. I'm a little surprised. He's going to be behind a pretty big item now. But we'll see how that works out, obviously. And Zio and, well, Phantom. 20 lead here for Zio. And it's starting to really build up here. And if you're Phantom, you got to be careful because obviously Aurelia can be strong throughout the entire game, but so can Grog, especially if it's an early start here and you can keep Aurelia a little bit behind, delay her power spike with that Triforce. And right now Phantom has 1,200 gold, so he has the phase done. And that's just about it right now. And I was doing a pretty good job on Gragas. I'll definitely give him credit. He's playing a fantastic Gragas right now. Like, he's really applying a lot of pressure, and it's really making it hard for Phantom to really do anything in that lane. So, great job by him. That top turret, I don't believe it's actually low just yet. Actually, it is very low. About 400 HP. That should be going down here in this wave. And that will be the first turret of the game, finally. And about 13 minutes in. So, more of a slower game than we've seen in the past, at least within the Black Monster Cup series. That slow and steady, of course, does win the race, so. Prawn does have that sweeping lens, trying to clear out some ward coverage here. Maybe looking for this dragon. You can see already Lord Kevco able to do some really good damage. Getting Prawn Bear down to about 3/4 life, and you can see them instantly respecting that. There's not going to be a dragon attempt by them unless there's guaranteed no vision. Because they realize that damage that Intix can do right now, as well as Lord Kevco, can really be a nuisance. Sigu getting caught with the ultimate, looking for an escape here. And he will get a little bit of a leap away. Kevco, though, force him down very low in life. Here comes the teleport from Phantom. Really surprised he actually committed. He could have stopped it. And we might actually see Dragon come down because he's already in the vicinity, so why not go for it? They don't have vision of Zio, though. And he might teleport into this fight. He might look for the turn here. There is a ward right under them here, and you can see Mountain off the side trying to harass them. Does get down the Dark Binding, sorry, and the teleport gonna be coming in as well. And you can see Prawnberry get pushed up by Phantom. Zio looking for Lord Kevco here, and he might have the damage. Ultimate comes out, and he might be able to focus down, but the Night Flash comes in, gets him a little bit of distance, and the ultimate coming out of Phantom is good, connected onto 4 people, and will leash and proc onto 1. And they're looking for more here. They're chasing it down. Lord Kevco has to be certainly going down. Cedric picks up the kill. And that is a 2 for O exchange, and maybe even dragging off the back of this if they are quick enough. They have a sweep and ends up on Mountain. They're cleaning out the wards. And a great play coming out of them. So that will secure them not only that first turret lead, but they're up now about 3,000 gold. Actually close to 4. And that's how quickly one fight can really snowball a game for you if you're not careful. Alright, so Lich Bane for Zio as a first buy. Did not expect that. Really? As like a first buy? I mean, we saw the damage he was doing. You know, it was pretty ridiculous. And he is living up his W second, but wow. Alright, so we'll see how that one works out. And Phantom with no magic resist is going to have a really tough time if they do go head-to-head here. And Triforce now done here for Intix. Play the Rune King finish for Cedrin. Might even be going for a Brutalizer off the back of this to go for that true CDR kind of build. Let's see, I mean, CS still pretty even across the board here. The biggest lead is about 30 in the top lane. It's about 10 bottom, 10 middle. Obviously, everyone's farming up pretty well here. But again, that last fight, I mean, we saw just a great position by and Faculty. You had, what, Zio push out Lord Kevko right away from the fight, so he wasn't there. The damage Zio can do. And of course, you had them just in a bad spot. The ultimate comes out, gonna catch him, and well, that should be a free kill here. Phantom hit right back into him. Red buff and the body slam. Zio will pick up that one. And of course, another pause gonna be coming out here, and I'm gonna turn chat on. It's gonna be in German though, so it's not like I know what they're saying. Except that's not German, that's English. So apparently Mountain is lagging right now. And now he's ready. I don't mind pauses as long as they're that quick. I'll tell you that. Alright, so it looks like all the problems are fixed. What did that 17-minute mark? It's about a 5,000 goal lead now for the side event Faculty, and they're close to actually, I don't know, getting to a certain part or a certain lead that I feel like they can actually start to, you know, group up and really snowball the game. Obviously, it's gonna take a little bit of time. Well, as you can see, they're starting to be aggressive ball, and they're looking for maybe that turret here in the next few waves. They're still continuing to have Zio push that top side. And Palmbear is still allowed to just continue to form up. Yeah, he's 11 CS ahead. I still feel like he could have put more pressure earlier on in the game against Maokai and really, you know, pressure him back. And as you can see, there's about only a 1 level difference, if even that, right now against them, or between them. But he's been successful in his ganks. And by his ganks, I mean the one gank. Well, he made 2 ganks top, I guess. The first gank was spotted and stand on top of a ward, but he did just kind of go back in the jungle and farm anyways, so it wasn't really a failure, but it wasn't really a success either way. Alright, so Phantom sitting on 500 gold. Obviously not enough for that Triforce anytime soon, and he's going to need that item to really power up. He's basically a full item ahead, or behind, sorry, of Zio, and the bomb turret will finally get taken down here. Prawn can start to roam around towards the bomb side through that blue buff if he wants to. Zio, well, 166 to 115. He's denying a lot of farm. Oh, look at that. Cedrin getting pushed on. Intex doing some good damage against him. And Cedrin forced to pop the coin, trying to run away here. And I imagine he should be able to get this one. The flash comes in, and he will turn right back into him, and will unfortunately get taken out. But Prawnberry coming in now, looking for the 1v1, or the 2v2 here. And Prawnberry will get continually knocked up, and this is allowing Intex to do some really good damage to him. And Sigu will pick up the kill, though. And Prawnberry will be able to escape. And, well, EXO just a little bit too late to the party here. Mountain definitely not going to be taken down off of this one, and he will just be able to back away. So 1-for-1 trade. Finally, CC pick up their first kill of the game. And a perfect person to do it on too. On the Cedrin, get the AD carry a little bit behind. Allow it ticks to get a little bit further ahead and allow him to start to pick up a little bit of steam here. And like I said, he still has the Triforce done. He still does insane amount of damage. The Brutalizer and the CDR boots picked up for Cedrin. like we were kind of expecting. So he has that cooldown reduction for those dashes. Alright, so ultimate going to be coming out as well. Sigu going to be locked up just a little bit here, but here comes Zio. Kevko going a little bit too ham, a little bit too deep. Of course, it does cost him his life, so he will drop. And that is now 5-1 here for Faculty, and you can't afford to keep giving up kills like that. I mean, he wants to get something going, I can understand, but now he's 0-2. Sigu has a death cap done compared to, well, 2/3, I guess you can call it 2/3 for Lord Kevko here. And he was so close multiple times to actually kill Sigu, but again, it just feels like Prombear's playing a little bit of a better game than, or in the jungle than right now EXO, and I say that very lightly because I still, like I said before, I believe there should have been more counter jungling in the beginning to really punish a Maokai pick here, but either way, the Triforce is done here for Phantom, finally picking that up. Nisa Large Rod picked up here for Zio. Dragon coming up in about 5 seconds, so expect that to be done here for Faculty. As you can see, crowd control nowhere near it. Not even prepared for it. They don't really have a time run exactly, but they should know what's happening right now. They should have ward coverage down here, and they just unfortunately do not. So, second dragon of the game going over to Faculty yet again. And that goal lead, honestly, it's approaching 10K, only 21 minutes in. Let's see what else we have. Actually, no other items built up here. It's obviously been a slower game, so I can understand that, but Faculty looks like they're finally going for the push on the middle here, looking for maybe that turret. It won't last long, obviously, against the lineup that they have here. I mean, you have a Ziggs who does insane damage to turrets, you have a Gragas as well. Can you really stop that? And well, they're going for the push here. You can see EXO and Ko doing some good damage. But of course, we're going to hit another pause because I believe Mountain's probably lagging again.
A summoner has disconnected.
Yes, he is. Oh, he's restarting his router. Oh, that's going to take a couple minutes. I don't like long pauses. All right, well, hopefully he gets back, obviously, in the game here very soon. I mean, they're up 4 kills. They're up almost 10K still with that dragon coming in. They have 2 turret advantage. They just got engaged upon middle, blowing a lot of ultimates, but they are fine. I mean, still, Faculty looking in a very good position. Lucky for them, you know, Mountain's able to just restart quickly and obviously get that pause in, or it could be really bad for them. They could just start to crumple if crowd control is able to push in. And even, you know, even knowing that you're lagging can be really frustrating mentally, can really put you in a bad place. And for people who are emotional players like me, you know, you get that kind of thing happen and you just go on tilt the entire game. And as a Morgana, when you're really needed for these fights with that ultimate and that black shield, not to mention the dart bindings catching someone out, you cannot afford to be on tilt. So hopefully for him and all those Faculty fans out there, he does get this all fixed here just in a few seconds. I was trying to see how long I could actually just sit here not talking before it got awkward. A lot quicker than I thought. A lot quicker than I expected. But I guess we can kind of... I think is I want to like kind of take stock of things, but there hasn't really been any changes in items over the past, let's say, like 3-4 minutes. They've been pretty much the same. I mean, there's a BF sword picked up for Intix, so he has that. The death cap should be done here for Kevco in just a few seconds. But that's just about it. I mean, there's really not much else to really look at in terms of items. Standard builds for everyone except, you know, Zio, which we commented on earlier. Really weird to see the Lich Bane as a first buy with the New Rod behind that. You kind of see a catalyst into a Rod of Ages to get, you know, tanky as Gragas in these fights. But I do like, if I can speak, seeing different routes like this. I mean, obviously, you have to be inventive if you want to be new and catch people off guard. And I mean, Lich Bane, it's done some good work. It does allow them to push turrets a little bit quicker if they want. It does allow him to do some really good damage in team fights with his auto attacks. Doesn't make him tanky. That's the one downside, I feel. Because he doesn't have any tank items just yet. I mean, he has Sword Boots. I think he's going to go for a Death Cap as well, just kind of build up the AP. I mean, he could go with Zanya's, but I don't think he can really be bursted down. Death Cap, it could... I think it has to be the possibility. You're not going to be able to DFG as Gragas anymore. It's obviously was changed around. I remember a DFG used to be... For every 100 AP you have, you do like an extra % damage, and it starts at like 25% of their max health. So you could have it doing like 40% of their health. And it was just ridiculous. And obviously they changed around to like a flat amount. Which kind of nerfed the item a little bit. It'd be a lot cooler if I could see Twitch chat. And also if I had like any update of what was happening right now. Because I believe if it's the same EPS as it is everywhere else here for ESL, you have like 10 minutes of pause, and after that it's a forfeit. Or you have to play with 4. Or however many you have at the time. And I believe these pauses all came in here for Faculty. I believe they did.
A summoner has
Ah, there we go. Mountain's back. Alright, there we go. So it looks like he fixed problems. Game's getting back underway, guys. Sorry for the little bit of delay that we had. We are 2.5 minutes in here. We did have an engage coming out of crowd control just a few moments earlier, pushing onto middle. Fortunately for them, it was unsuccessful, and Prombear was able to escape that one. I think Kevco didn't have his ultimate up during that one. If he did, it could have been a little bit of a different story, but honestly, hindsight's always 20/20 here, and they'll probably be looking for another opportunity in just a few minutes. Dragon, I believe, has about 230 on it. It's really hard to judge it when you have pauses that long, because then you just kind of you feel like the entire time during the pause is actually happening in the game as well, and it puts you a little bit off here. But a little push coming onto the middle turret, down below half HP. It's falling pretty damn quickly here, and there's some good wave clear on the side of, you know, crowd control with the Corki and the Orianna. But well, right now Kevco's going back to base. It's up to Tix and Tox to, well, keep the turret alive, and I don't really think they can. Deathcap now picked up here for Kev. This turret's going to continue to be shoved in on. I think it's just a matter of time. This should be the final wave to take it down. Alright, there we go. Turret number 3 of the game going over to Faculty. A 10k gold lead is almost there at 8.9 it seems right now. And Phantom finally able to compete with Zio a little bit, as you just saw right there. He's able to harass him back. I believe, yeah, Phantom did get that. He has his smite down on. And Zao trying to get control of his own blue buff here, trying to make sure it goes over to Kevco. It's kind of really needed, to be honest, for an Orianna, for the extra CDR that you can get, especially when you have the Athenian Holy Grail. You see a little of aggressive warding coming out of Mountain. Just put a ward towards the Wraith Camp on the top side. He's pushing up top now to help out Gragas. Maybe look for a kill. I would doubt it, though, onto an Orianna. And Sigurd will be getting his own blue buff here, so... Game more of a slower paced one, but sometimes slower paced games just show how good a team can be, because you can play with restraint, even though and faculty know they're probably 10k just about there ahead, but they're still taking it slow and making sure that they don't make any mistakes. Gragas does get it behind him with the help of that teleport, but unfortunately they did just back away. I think they spotted him out, so it's a little unsuccessful on that one, but either way, Planet, Phantom was even forced to use his teleport to get down there as well here, and now Zio will catch out Phantom, doing some really good damage. Half HP right there. The ultimate could come in and actually solidify a kill, but he's going to back away, trying to put some pressure on before the dragon does come up, obviously. And now they might be able to push on this middle turret. Nice little transition comes in onto this bottom turret, and you can see how quick they can take that down here. And it obviously forces Kev to rotate from middle down towards this bottom lane. And again, I mean, I feel like on faculty could split push still. Like they have a decent disengage with a Lee Sin and a Morgana. I feel like Zao can continue to push that top lane with that Lich Bane and really make it its use for just destroying turrets. And it looks like he will head back up there in just a few seconds. Scrynor picked up here for Cedrian and a Ghost Blade. He also has a BF sword under his belt as well, so he has a CDR. He's starting to build up some good damage. The Scrying Orb, though, that one's the interesting part. I don't really typically see anyone but Caitlyn ever get a Scrying Orb. Megatron Cloak picked up for Phantom. Exo picked up the Giant's Belt. Bloodthirster picked up for Intix. Chaos Crucible on the way here for Tox and Mountain both. And the Zonia's actually picked up here for Zyos. So going for more of a tanky build. So I'm expecting him to go really deep on these fights, pop the Zonias, and his team just comes in and backs him up. But you can see, Kev able to finally do some good damage. Able to push Zio out just a little bit here, and Dragon up about 10 seconds. Obviously, and Faculty, they have gotten the first 2 Dragons of the game. They have a timer. The Ghost Blade going to be popped here right before the ultimate of the Cologne, and look at the damage. Kevko gets taken down. Now Zio, Exo going to be taken out as well here as he does twist advance back into the fight here, but Zio pops the Zonias, will stay alive. And Tech's trying to escape this one. Looks like he will be able to back away. It will be a 1-for-2 trade, but now they have a choice. Do they want Dragon? Do they want middle turret? And it looks like Dragon is their call. They still have their AD carry up, so it should be very, very fast. You can see Kevko, I mean, the Cologne was ridiculous with the Ghost Blade.
Blue team has slain the dragon.
$243 to 185 CS top lane. Really interesting to see such a big lead here for Zio. Mid lane, even. Bottom lane, let's just call that even. Jungle, even as well. So the only really big difference here is the top laners here between both teams. And obviously, as you can count on the 2 kills that Sigurd has over the 0 that Kev has. The 2 kills that, Cedric has compared to the 2 that Intix has. But I guess the big difference is the mid laners. If you ignore CS, Sigurd's just having an easier time. Phantom Joe's nowhere near this just yet. He's heading down from the top side. I think he's spotted out by a ward as he crosses that Baron pit, but still, the wave here is too strong. You have a Lucian, a Ziggs, and a Gragas. Like, how are you going to stop that? How are you going to push onto that under a turret when the real answer is you can't? You have to dive them, and they have a decent comp for diving. Alright, so let's see. Sunfire Cape picked up here for Prombear. Void Staff now done for Sigu. And you can see Spectral's Cow picked up for Phantom. So Scrynor picked up by Intix as well. Really interested to see those items and how they're going to use them in the fights. I'm assuming Sojourn's using it for the culling, just to make it a little bit easier to hit. A little bit weird to see that end faculty, consider they're 10k ahead. They're taking this game so slow. I was saying earlier on, you know, it's nice to see a team going slow because you can see that they don't want to make mistakes and stuff like that. But then there's a point you cross eventually throughout the game where you're going so slow that it actually shows a weakness, not showing how good you are. I mean, they have a team that they could dive with. I mean, they could just poke with a Gragas, with a Ziggs. You can force them away from the turret. Yeah, they have, you know, an Orianna and I guess Corki to wave clear, but Corki can only do that so often because of his ultimate, his missiles. And you have a team that can disengage. You have a team that can keep Sojourn alive easily, or even Sigu with that black shield. So it's not that hard for them to push, and yet they're still taking a lot of time here. They're allowing crowd control to get farmed back in the game. Honestly, the longer the game goes on, that 10k goal lead just doesn't mean as much here. And they're finally making the push on the middle. This turret should be free. And they back away. Still playing it safe. And, well, now XO going to be going in on a Prombear. Not the best of choices. But Prom will still escape. And now they could even transition bottom if they wanted to. They have, let's say, they might have deep enough wards to go for this one. They have a pink ward there, or a ward there. Side of us. Does he have a pink ward up towards the top side? Darbite lands onto XO, but he will just walk away from this one. And again, you can see Zio, he's kind of playing a weird position right here, trying to force Phantom Joe to rotate from the outside back to middle. And you know, so you have some really good good wave clears. Phantom's been having a hard time this entire game of really keeping up with. You can see 60 CS difference. And again, just look at the poke. This is all you need to do. This is really all you need to do. Then hit the turret, and you'll eventually take that one down. Eventually, I mean, they could do this the entire way, all the way to the inhibitor if they wanted. Because eventually, crowd control has to fight. And what are they going to initiate with? A tree. See, Sojourn, every once in a while pushing for the turret. He's forced to flash away from this one. Went a little bit too deep there, but his team is backing him up. That should have been free. And finally, turret number 4 does go down at 32 minutes. Now it sounds like I'm harassing them, but you know, I'm looking at them from like an LCS point of view. Like, these teams obviously want to compete in LCS, you know, they want to be the best of the best, but if I can spot out mistakes when I really don't do color casting anymore for League, then there's definitely something up. And all right, now Sojourn picking up the Infinity Edge. Chaos Crucible done for both supports. And Void Staff done for Zio. So they will go in the first turn of the game, it looks like. No. Actually, they're going to use ultimate just to clear out the wave to make sure that they don't lose it. And Intox, he should have been dead. If Zio ultimate, he was gone. This is what's weird to me. 32 minutes in, 33 almost, and they're setting up for Dragon.
I am smiling.
I think about Dragon is, yeah, you're denying it from the side of crowd control. Why did he flash that? He had a black shield. But the thing is, I mean, I guess it's a good reason to take it now, but you can always just push bottom, leave Dragon up, because it's going to be there when you leave. It's not like it's going to be sneaked away from you when you have full control of the bombs to the jungle. And push that bomb turret. It's already very low in life. I mean, have Zao split push top. I mean, he's sticking around with the group right now. He has enough damage to 1v1. He has enough survivability to escape if he needs to. Yeah, they're more content on grouping up here and just sticking together, and that blue will be stolen away. Phantom does pick that one up here, and well, right now, 624 is just a little bit back. He's 2-1-3, 324 CS. Actually, the highest in the game right now. Well, he was. That's how Siga get. Grabbed a couple more here, but Siga's got to be almost full in items. Yeah, 1,600 gold to spend. Assuming he's gonna pick up his Zhonya's next. And well, teleport coming from the backside. This is gonna be perfect. Grog's gonna have an easy ultimate here. Pops Zhonya's, does mitigate a little bit of damage. His ultimate comes in, but spreads him apart here. And now Exo, well, he will be taking out. Dark Knight does land on a Phantom Joe, not the best target, but will force another flash. And finally, they're able to push in. Finally, they're able to maybe look at an inhibitor turret here. Maybe look at a tier 2 bottom. But either way, they have about 30 seconds left on Exo. They have a lot of ultimates down. They have a lot of HP left. And finally, 35 minutes in, we will see the first inhibitor turret fall of the game, and maybe the inhibitor here. I'd imagine they still have time, and let's see. Kevko taking a lot of heat here. So now do they go for Baron, or are they going to bait? They could bait this. Oh, man. Prawn Bear almost got spotted out right there. That would have been bad. That actually could have cost them Baron. I mean, Lee Sin's a very strong Baron securing champion just based off his percent damage off of his execute. I mean, that god. I mean, how is Malka supposed to compare to that? You don't have a lot of individual damage. You can't burst it. You don't have any percent damage. Unless I was like randomly changed and I just haven't read up on it. That's kind of what makes Maokai a little bit weak. I mean, again, this goes back to why didn't you gank more early on? Why didn't you make any more big plays? Because you kind of need to get going early to really be useful later on. You need to be able to have the tankiness that you need to survive, you know, a 2, 3, and 4-man firing squad that's right at you. Alright, well, while they are pushing middle, you can see, in fact, they're clearing out a lot of wards here, and I think this gives them full vision control. Basically full vision control of this Baron pit. And see, this is what I like Phantom doing. He has to teleport up. He knows Zio doesn't. So why not split push? If anything, he can force an ultimate out of Zio. Stop him from teleporting away, but that's about it. But again, if he gets through, then he does a lot of work. You can see both teams, a little bit of miscommunication there from both sides. Some of them want to fight, some of them don't. Last Whisper picked up here for Lucian, Last Whisper for Corki, Banshee's Veil for Prawn Bear, and we have a Ruby Sightstone done here for Prawn Bear. It's pretty fed, 0 and 7. He almost has 100% kill, well, 0-1-7, sorry. He almost has 100% kill. 100% kill? What am I looking for? Participation, there we go. Almost has 100% kill participation. This could be a little bit sneaky. I think they're trying not to show Lee Sin. Because they're probably seeing that they know they're probably going to be going for it here. And he does obviously spot out Maokai there. On the side of crowd control, they have to make a choice now. Do we fight them at Baron, or do we plan on stalling? Because they can't afford to let Baron go. And yet they're all still sticking middle here. Baron, it's falling very, very quickly. Xyle doing a good job just zoning them away. Baron down at, well, dead. Unfortunately, that Nami tidal wave will not connect, but we're looking for someone. Cologne coming out. Look at the damage it does on the XL. Ziggles will come as well. And then we'll catch just the tail of him. Naz will be taken down. So finally, 1 kill coming in, 9-2. Mill inhibitor has come back online. And this should just be a free take for him. Alright, so you're 39 minutes in. You're basically all full built on your team. You have Baron buff. You have Mill inhibitor being down. Now what do you do? And I really hope Dragon isn't what they're going to do. I mean, yeah, I guess they could pick it up for a little bit of extra gold. Get everyone a little bit closer to their next item, but still. They should have hammered home the game already, in my opinion. Almost a 100 CS lead top lane. It's ridiculous. Oh, Ziggs does some really good damage here, but Sejin can't pick up the kill, unfortunately, and is forced just a little bit back here. We're seeing Phantom rotating as well. Trying to get a couple of wards over the wall. Talper going to be coming in too on top of that. And they're looking for the 5-man squad. They're looking for the 5-man push here, and they might have their first kill onto Lord Kevko, but the Mikhails comes in, saves him, but look how low the rest of them are. Xayah off to the side. Well, nice flash for the wall. Does actually pull XO over. And they will pick up a kill from that, so that's their tankiest man now down. And this inhibitor turret, if I can click it, actually hasn't been touched. It was left completely alone in that last fight, but there's Superman's pushing middle. And now Faculty, they don't have to rush this one. They have all the time in the world. Ultimate comes in, everyone, it lands on a 3, it is good. And Nami ultimate as well for a little bit of disengagement, but Sika picks up a kill, and now Cedric looking for one as well. Tox, he's going to be taken. No, actually will survive this one, so it will be a 1-for-2 trade in the end of that one. But another inhibitor going to be going to the hands of Faculty. Okay, now they're going to back away. Yeah, 2,600 gold to spend on Sigurd, 2,800 on Sejin, 2,600 on Mountain. Why not spend that thing, come back?
This is my happy face.
And you can see the side of CC, they're just scrounging for everything they can pick up. You know, Phantom Joe, he's almost 100 CS behind right now. Has a Banshee's Veil and a Triforce, and Merc Treads, and I guess a Warden's Mail. But it's going to take a lot more than that if they want to hold on to this game. He's going to need a lot of farm here, but the thing is, a lot of them need the farm. I mean, you saw the damage that, you know, Kevco did. If he can, you know, replicate that with maybe a little bit more ability power. Oops, sorry about that. Replicate that with a little bit more ability power, then he would just shred through the entire team. Alright, well. Crowd control looking for a gank here. Xayah will get slowed up. I imagine he should be taken down from this, but what teammates come in? Look at the damage coming from the sides. Too easy. Cedric does get actually 1v1'd up against Lord Kevco here, but it's a 1-for-1 exchange. An 80 carry forward jungler. That's actually in favor of CC here. They didn't commit their Orion ultimate. They're going to need that to hold on to this fight. That's the problem. They're going to need that here to defend this turret. Then again, you look at the side. Why are they ditching it? I'm actually really surprised to see them ditching that. Cedrin's DC'd and they're still playing. Okay. New to me. I mean, he is dead, so it's not like a big deal. Alright, there he is. So Intuitor's being down, middle one has respawned. Superman still shoving their way in though, and you can see obviously Six trying to do anything he possibly can here to clear out these waves. They have to hold on if they want to have a chance. Baron buff has disappeared as well. 44 minutes in. Xayah getting a little bit caught there. little bit of back away though. Has to be careful. Does not want to get caught out. He's a death cap as well behind him. And that is gonna hurt. But both Baron and Dragon now on 2 minutes. So here's my question, friend faculty. Are they going to wait? Are they like literally just going to wait for Baron again, then push for the win? Or are they going to play this one out and just win it right now? I see Sojourn's there to clear out the inhibitor very quickly. Very fed in items, as you can see. Last Whisper is even picked up from 2, but Cologne going to come out as the Withering hasn't been used just yet, but Sojourn picks up 1 kill. Ziggs ultimate is going to connect only onto Tox, and they're trying to chase him down here, but they're going to back off from this one. Tix lagging out yet again here in the middle of that fight, and he will be killed here. So finally, we're going to have End Faculty actually come out as the victor here 45 minutes in, advance into the winner's bracket, and will now be 1 game away from going into the playoffs. The double explosion. All right, so guys, we're going to go a quick little break here, but when we come back, we will be bringing you the next game. I believe it's the winner's bracket game. I'm not sure who's one on the other side, but obviously we'll be doing that one here.